I just want to say before I begin that this is not a political video. I don't do political videos. Even when I'm talking about the church or Richard Dawkins or whatever, it's always in some other context. With regard to this context, I'm honestly trying to figure out a very strange trend that has cropped up in my country, at least on the internet, for whatever that's worth. But there's no political angle here for what I'm about to talk about, although there probably isn't much point in saying that because everyone seems to be taking a political issue with something in this country, and by this country I mean the United States. This video is actually going to be directed at people who don't live in the United States because I'm really curious as to whether or not this is a localized US issue, or if this is something that's going on everywhere. Because as far as I've seen, this is pretty localized to the United States, but I guess I'll find out. But once again, this is not a political video. I've said in a couple of other places that I'm not going to answer the question of whether or not I believe in God or what my religion is, if any, because that's going to cause a lot of internet stupid that I don't want to deal with. With regard to politics, which I've been asked about a few times, I actually don't have a problem answering the question of what political arena I fall into, because honestly, I'm not really that political a person. Every time I vote on an issue, it's always for philosophical reasons, not political ones. To answer the people who have been asking me, when I do vote, it's usually along the lines of liberal Democrat or democratic socialist, but that really has more to do with sort of a quasi-Aristotelian viewpoint on democracy and justice, as well as fulfilling the constitutional aims of promoting the general welfare and forming a more perfect union, which I see as only being possible by instituting certain social programs that... I just opened up a can of worms, didn't I? So, basically, to make a long story short, I do have certain political viewpoints, but they're not really all that political, and this certainly is not a political video, so just keep that in mind as we go along. Honestly, what I'm about to talk about has probably been around for a while, but I only really seriously started to notice it just a few months ago. For those of my non-US viewers, which I think I have a few, here in the United States we have two specific holidays dedicated to our troops. One is Veterans Day and the other is Memorial Day. And Memorial Day was on May 27th of this year. A lot of people get the Memorial Day weekend off. I did not get the Memorial Day weekend off at my job. I was forced to work one of the 2 days, which is absolutely fine. So I woke up on the first day of the Memorial Day weekend, and like a lot of people, one of the first things I did was to hop on Facebook. Facebook is still a thing, right? So I woke up, I'm scrolling through Facebook, and man oh man did I have a journey down the rabbit hole. One of the first things that I saw posted on Facebook during Memorial Day was actually really, really nice, and it was all getting off to a really good start. This was the first thing I saw on that day. All gave some gave all. Remember them this Memorial Day. And I'm like, alright, well, the first line on there is a little slogan-y, but this is in the spirit of what the day is all about. It's Memorial Day, and it is important to remember the troops. So then I kept on scrolling, and my sad journey began. Memorial Day. In case you thought it was National Barbecue Day. Okay, I didn't think it was National Barbecue Day, and showing a woman grieving over a headstone is really kind of manipulative. Memorial Day. So you thought Memorial Day was all about your 3-day weekend. Okay, I don't get a 3-day weekend, and this is all really kind of manipulative. Memorial Day, in case you thought it was National Lake and Barbecue Day. Alright, this is really getting fucking obnoxious. Heroes, don't look at the back of a jersey, look at a chest of a veteran. So I'm not supposed to like sport? I mean, I don't like sports, but there's a good reason why you never got the bill for the freedom you enjoy. Someone already paid for it. Alright, this is really getting fucking obnoxious. Memorial Day weekend, don't forget why you're able to enjoy that cookout. Alright, fuck you. I do not need to be fucking guilt-tripped. There is a clear line between having a lot of admiration and respect for the troops that fight for our freedom and just treating everyone like they're a bunch of fucking assholes. The United States is one of the most almost cultishly patriotic nations on Earth. We don't need this kind of shit. This doesn't do any good. Not only does it detract from what the day is actually about, but it assumes that 90% of the people in this country are just a bunch of assholes that want a barbecue. I mean, it is one thing to say we should honor and respect the troops today, but that's not what I'm seeing with things like this. I'm seeing this. Hey, you, the dickhead with the spatula. You know people died so you could have that little barbecue, right? There are people overseas right now who can't be with their families and have a barbecue because they're fighting for your sorry ass right now so that you can have your freedom. But you don't care about the troops, do you? No. All you care about is your little barbecue and your little beer. Soldiers died so you could have that, you dickhead. Fuck you. Oh, and enjoy your barbecue. And the most ironic thing about all this is that that kind of thing actually disgraces what the soldiers and troops are doing, according to these people, more than people just having and enjoying a barbecue. Supposedly our troops fight so that we can have a nice, happy, normal life. Not so that we can feel guilty about having it. So now flash forward to about a week ago, where we got the very sad and very tragic news of the death of Glee star Corey Monteith. For people who have been asking me, I do watch Glee. I think the quality of the show is all over the place, but that's not what I want to talk about. I am aware of the show. I was aware of this actor. And this death was particularly sad for me because not only was this person just a year younger than I am, but he also died due to a severe narcotics problem, which I have struggled with in the past. And so the whole thing just kind of hit me close to home. Obviously, I didn't know this person, and I really don't have the right to grieve for him the way that his family would, because I didn't know him. But it actually really did kind of resonate with me, and it did make me kind of sad. I mean, this was a young, promising actor who had a problem that is not uncommon in this country. It's not treated as well as it could be in this country. We're still struggling with it. And it took the life of someone who had a very promising career and who was very talented. And so it actually really did kind of hit me on a level. I was very saddened by it. So not 2 days after this death, I went onto Facebook again, and once again I saw another internet meme. This meme. Soldier dies, no one notices. Some dude from Glee overdoses, and everyone loses their mind. Now, first of all, to try and detract or take away from the grief of somebody who died because of your idealism or because some inequity that you see between people mourning for troops and people mourning for celebrities, to me, this is in spirit no different than people that go and protest soldiers' funerals. I'm not saying that it's as reprehensible, but that's what you're doing. You're taking away from someone else's grief and or trivializing it because of your viewpoint. This is reprehensible to me. This sickened me because, once again, first of all, it assumes that the majority of people in this country are just superficial assholes who don't care that soldiers are dying. And second of all, once again, it just days after someone tragically died, you're spitting in the faces of people who are legitimately grieving. I mean, this actually makes me sick. But once again, to get back on the point and topic of this video, it is once again that strange kind of patriotic emotional blackmail that says if you're not venerating the troops, then you're a piece of shit. Or if you are respecting and admiring someone who isn't a troop, but you're not respecting and admiring the troops, then you're a dickhead. I do not see how one correlates with the other. In fact, common sense should tell you that one does not correlate with the other. It is okay to like celebrities and like sports teams and like video games, and it's okay to be a fan of things. That does not automatically mean that you don't care about the troops overseas. And being more affected by a celebrity death rather than a troops overseas that you can't see or hear and you don't know about, that is actually perfectly natural. It doesn't have anything to do with preferring one over the other. The majority of people in my country who work the longest and the hardest also get paid the least. So at the end of a long day, we naturally unwind with things like Glee. That's one of the great things about entertainment. It's an escape from the drudgery of everyday life, something that we can spend a mere hour with and enjoy. So I think the majority of people in America feel closer to celebrity deaths because they're used to seeing these people on a regular basis, whereas a soldier who dies is something they're just learning about on the spot. It's the same with cancer patients or victims of war and or poverty in faraway countries. It seems very far away to most people, whereas celebrities, it feels to someone as if they knew them since they're in their living room several times a week. So when a celebrity dies, it naturally has a different psychological effect on the population. It's actually no different than having a close family member die as opposed to hearing about someone's friend's brother dying overseas. It's not that you exclusively care about one over the other, one just naturally feels closer to you. So when it comes to things like this, I'm seeing a complete contradiction. On the one hand, we are supposed to be honoring and respecting the troops because they fight so that we can have a happy life. But then when we do have a happy life, we're supposed to feel like shit for it because people are fighting and dying for our freedom. And you know what? We should be honoring the people who give their lives for our freedom, as well as people who selflessly pull people out of burning buildings or save people from cancer. But we don't need this kind of emotional strong-arming to make us do it. But I don't see this kind of thing when it comes to firefighters or doctors, and I haven't seen it when it comes to soldiers in other countries. Only in the US have I seen this kind of weird emotional blackmail with regard to supporting our troops, which again has become another slogan rather than something that actually means anything. So there are two questions that I'm trying to answer with this video. First, where does this come from? Why do we have this here? And two, is this an entirely American phenomenon, or does this happen in other countries as well? I really hope this is the most controversial video I ever have to do on Confused Matthew. But then again, I am working on a My Little Pony video based on my research and observations, so we'll see.